So this is an example of how not to blue flag. Blue flagging refers to a slower driver safely pulling over for a faster driver who is a lap ahead of them. In rally races, due to races being a simple point A to point B race, slower drivers still need to safely move out of a faster driver's way so that they don't interrupt their race, given that it's one lap. Blue flagging isn't very difficult to understand. It requires just a good sense of cognizance. You should always keep an eye on your minimap for blue dots so as to know if someone that's slapping you is behind you. If it's the case, then you need to quickly find a safe spot to pull aside so that they can pass you with no issues. Additionally, you need to be careful with choosing where to stop and utilizing common sense. For example, if you are on a straight, such as this one, and you see a faster driver coming up on your left and is really close to you, then don't try to cut across this path to the left in order to reach a spot off of the track, as you would likely end up hitting them and taking the both of you out. So let's take a look at an example of how not to blue flag, such as the one that I showed you just about a minute ago. As you can see in this rally race, Zala is coming up on Big Head. He honks multiple times to get his attention, and along with being laggy, he actively tries to prevent himself from being overtaken. Big Head does not seem to properly interpret the reason of his honking, and he just honks back at him. And then as you can see, he loses control once on the uphill section approaching the observatory, then does it again. When Zala comes in to overtake him, Big Head does a bad recovery and ends up swiping him in the back, which results in the both of them being taken out. Because of this, he was likely banned for his mistake. Now let's take a look at a clip with a proper blue flag. Here I am on Ruby Rock Raceway. I am approaching C3PO, the blue driver ahead of me, who is a known racer in the homecoming community. He's a lap behind, and I'm about to overtake him. Alright, now take a look at this. Normally, you'd want to take a much closer line around the hairpin, because you would lose a lot of time if you took a very wide line around it. However, as you can see, since C3PO is the one being blue flagged, he deliberately takes a very wide and slow line, because he's trying to allow me to pass without impeding my race. That's an example of how to properly blue flag. He pays attention to where he is on the track and where I am so that he can properly move aside without messing me up. Now let's take one more clip. Take a look at one more clip. This time with me being the one being blue flagged. I was forced to reconnect to the server mid-race, and it cost me about 4 minutes and put me about 2 laps behind everyone else. So pay attention to my minimap right here. As you can see, there's a blue dot, which represents somebody who's coming up behind me, a blue flagger. And I take a look behind myself real quick, and I see that 99 is right behind me. He's getting closer and closer, so I need to make sure I know exactly where he is so that I can choose a proper route to pull over without hitting him in the process. I choose to go to the left, since he's starting to swerve to his right. And he can pass by me with no problems and finishes the race. Overall, like I said, it isn't really hard to learn how to blue flag. You simply need to be mindful of 3 things: your position, the faster driver's position, and the potential spots to pull over on. As you can see on like a straightaway such as this, there are plenty of spots for you to go on. And in a clip like this, Big Head could have, let's see here, he could have purposely went forward to the barrier and stopped there so that Zala could pass by. He could have stopped on any of these sides of the road because Zala wasn't even close to him at the time. Or he could have, let's see, he could have went right over here. He could have went into the parking lot of the observatory. There were a lot of options for him to take. But He did not exercise proper blue flagging, and as a result, he took the both of them out.